everyone, this is me Garima Singh. I hope you all are doing well. So let's start with today's topic, that is Delhi Sultan. Here we will, this period basically was Delhi Sultanate. So in Delhi Sultanate, various dynasties rule and they are known as Delhi Sultan. So first one was slave dynasty. It is also known as Mamluk, then come Khilji. Everyone heard about Alauddin Khilji. Then it's come Tughlaq, then it's Sayyid, then it's Lodi. So basically, above four belong to Turks, and the last one, Lodhis, belong to Afghans. Let's discuss all about each dynasty in detail. Before that, I want to clear a few facts. Not about being clear, I want you guys know about it. So, first Muslim invasion was done by Muhammad bin Qasim, and first Turk invasion was done by Mahmud of Ghazni, and second Turk invasion was done by Muhammad Ghori. So these two names are different. Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. They both are different person, not the same. So when asked about first Muslim invasion, then you have to write Muhammad bin Qasim. But when it's about Turks, so you have to write Mahmud of Ghazni. Let's know tidbits about Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. Then we move to our basically first Delhi Sultan dynasty, that is slave dynasty. The Turkish conqueror Mahmud Ghazni succeed his father and established a huge empire in Central Asia. Then he made Ghazni as a capital. The present day Ghazni is in South Kabul. Then he was 27-year old, the first ruler to get the title of Sultan, which means authority. He attacked India 17 times during the period between 1000 and 1027 AD. First invasion by Mahmud of Ghazni was basically attack modern Afghanistan and Pakistan, and last invasion in the year 1027 AD. That was the last invasion of Mahmud Ghazni. He attacked the Somnath temple, that is Shiv temple in Gujarat. The brave Hindu Rajput tried to defend the temple when the enemy tried to get inside it. The Hindus fought very bravely, and initially the enemies could not damage the temple. Muhammad Ghori invaded India and laid the foundation of Muslim domination in India. He may be considered the founder of Muslim rule in India. And in 991, first Battle of Tarain, Tarain basically plays in Haryana, the fought between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan. Its result was that Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori. So second battle was fought between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan. Result was that this time Muhammad Ghori defeat Prithviraj Chauhan and capture the area that is ruled by Prithviraj Chauhan. So after this battle, the kingdom of Delhi fell to Muhammad Ghori. The Battle of Tarain had great significance in the basically political scene, as it led to the establishment of Muslim rule over India. Let's move on to now our slave dynasty. So slave dynasty was founded by Qutbuddin Aibak, and he was the slave of Muhammad Ghori. Slave dynasty basically ruled almost 84 years, that is from 1206 to 1290 AD. So first ruler of slave dynasty was Qutbuddin Aibak, then it's come Iltutmish, then Ruknuddin, Razia Sultan. There are various ruler come under slave dynasty, but the important are four, that is Aibak, Iltutmish, Ruknuddin, and Razia Sultan. And the last one you have to remember is Quaikabad. So before Quaikabad, Ghiyasuddin Balban was there. He also did various things. So you have to remember all. Threes are the slave, Aibak, Iltutmish, and Balban. But in this important are Aibak, Iltutmish, Balban, Razia. That's it. Let's talk about each ruler in detail. Qutbuddin Aibak, originally he was from Turkey, and he was the governor as well as slave of Muhammad Ghori. In 1206, after the death of Muhammad Ghori, he became the master of Hindustan, or you can say ruler of Delhi. And 1206, he basically founded the slave dynasty. He is known as the founder of the slave dynasty, and he constructed two mosques, that is Kuwait ul Islam in Delhi and Arai Din Ka Jhopra in Ajmer, Rajasthan. He also began the construction of Qutub Minar, uh, basically in the honor of famous Sufi saint Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. He basically construct the basement of Qutub Minar. For his generosity, he was given the title of Laksh Baksh because he was a giver of lakhs. Aibak was a great patron of learning and patronized died in 1210 while playing polo, or you could say chogan. So next was Iltutmish. He was a slave of Kutubuddin Aibak and later he became the son-in-law of Kutubuddin Aibak also. He occupied the throne of Delhi in 1211 after deposing Aram Shah Bakshi. He was the son of Kutubuddin Aibak. He made Delhi the capital in place of Lahore. Basically, Aibak made Lahore his capital and Aram Bakshi also make Baksh, not Bakshi. Aram Baksh also make Lahore as his capital. But when Iltutmish came, he made Delhi the capital in place of Lahore. Aibak was the founder of Muslim rule in India, but real founder was the Iltutmish. Iltutmish, as I said, was a real founder of Delhi Sultanate. He was a very efficient and capable ruler, and he basically organized Chalisa, that is group of 40 officials. So these 40 officials basically they are nobles who are very efficient in the respective work. Like in present day, Prime Minister Modi have cabinet minister or council minister like this. Iltutmish have Chalisa or Chargan, that is a group of 40 nobles. Then he introduced two coins, that is silver coin was known as Tanka and copper coin was known as Jittal. He also introduced Ikta system, that is Ikta system basically introduced reform in civil administration and army. Then he completed Qutub Minar, which was started by Qutubuddin Aibak. Like next was Ruknuddin. He basically ruled for 6 months, so he was the shortest basically ruler in slave dynasty who ruled for a very less period of time. So Ruknuddin, he was a son of Iltutmish. He crowned by his mother Shah Turkan after the death of Iltutmish in 1236. He was deposed by Rajia, daughter of Iltutmish, when he was out of capital to curb a rebellion in Awadh against him. Even Iltutmish also won that his daughter Razia Sultana ruled because she was more capable than his son. Sultana, she ruled for 4 years and she was the first and only Muslim lady who ruled over India. Now Iltutmish has nominated Razia as the successor, but nobles didn't want. Din Balban, basically he was the slave of Iltutmish and he broke the power of Chalisa, appointed spy system as well established military department, that is Divani Ars, and he appointed his governor Jalaluddin Khilji. He followed the policy of blood and iron. Even he introduced two Persian concept in his code, that is Pybos and Sajda. Pybos is like kissing the feet of king, and then come the Khilji dynasty. When he get the throne, he was 70-year-old. He was a good administration. He developed various road canals for the betterment of the people, and it is basically he was killed by his own son-in-law Alauddin Khilji. Now we discuss more about Alauddin Khilji. He was the greatest ruler. He was the nephew as well as son-in-law of Jalaluddin Khilji, and he was very ambitious, aggressive. First Sultan to have, he was the first Sultan who have a permanent standing army at the northwest frontier, and he introduced market reform at set up market reform at three places, that is Delhi, Punjab, and Multan, where he fixed the price for all commodities. He created basically separate markets called mandis where no trader was allowed to increase the price of good. If they do so, they will be punished. Two new practices in military administration, that is two Persian concept, that is Dag and Hulya. Dag basically the branding of horse, and Hulya basically for the identification of soldiers. And during Alauddin Khilji, during his period there were five Mongols attack was about his conquest in 1297. He attacked Gujarat and annexed it and married the queen, that is Kamla Devi, and he purchased a slave Malik Kafur. Then in 1299 he attacked Ranthambore and annexed his. First evidence of Johor was recorded there, like mass suicide performed by women. Then in 1303 attacked Mewar. Ruler was Raja Ratan Singh. And Alauddin Khilji also invaded South India and done various conquests. And he appointed Malik Kafur as a commander-in-chief. So first one was Yadav of the Devgiri, they was defeated. Then Hosyal of Karnataka, then Kakatiyas of Bengal, Telangana, then Pandya, then Chera, all were defeated by Alauddin Khilji. Malik Kafur annexed all of them. So Alauddin Khilji was first sultan who has pan-India level of administration. Alauddin Khilji come the other successor like Mubarak Shah Khilji, he was incapable, basically mere a puppet and weak. Then Khusro Khan, weak, incapable, drunkard, and who was killed by his noble called Ghazi Malik in 1320. And Ghazi Malik took the title of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and he established Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. So Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, when he get into basically get the throne, he was 70-year-old. He was a good administrator. He was very welfare oriented, built dams, road, canals, constructed a new city called Tughlaqabad. Then come the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was called wise fool ruler because of various reasons. First is he shifted capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. Then again he reshifted it from Devgiri to the Delhi because he think that when he ruled in Delhi he can't capture the South India, so he moved it to Devgiri. When he reached Devgiri, then he lost control over North India. Then again he shifted it. That's why shifting may cause loss to money as well as human life also. Religion was issue of token currency like one silver coin equal to one copper coin. Basically issue new copper coin, but he haven't put any seal in it. So people was making copper coin in their homes. That was a flaw law by issue of token currency. Then he said, in like government give you one copper coin but one silver coin and you have to return it one copper coin. So that was also a very bad idea of issuing of token currency. Then heavy taxation at Doab, fertile land. Doab is the first project which was a big fail, was done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, was taxation in Doab, transfer of capital from Delhi to Devgiri, then Devgiri to Delhi again, then introduction of token currency, then captured Khosrow, that is in Iraq and Central Asia, then Karachi expedition. These both were big fails. So all these were the failed project done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Then come the third ruler of Tughlaq dynasty, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He was a cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was welfare oriented and he was the greatest ruler of Delhi Sultan. He wrote autobiography, that's Futuhat-e-Firoz Shah. He constructed 300 towns. Important ones are Jaunpur, Firozabad, Fatehabad, Hisar. He constructed 13, not 13, he constructed 30 madrasa, constructed 3 universities, Jaunpur University, Islamic University, then constructed 5 canals, constructed orphanage, old age homes, then established separate department for slave. He has the most number of slaves, are 1,80,000 around. He repaired the Qutub Minar, which was damaged by lightning, and added a fifth story to. His inspiration was Ashoka, so he carried 2 pillars of Ashoka from Chokra and Meerut to Delhi. Tughlaq ruler Muhammad Shah Tughlaq, he was weak, drunkard, incapable. Then the fifth was Nasruddin Shah, he was also weak, incapable, and last ruler, he was killed by his noble Kyrgyz Khan. Then Kyrgyz Khan established a new dynasty, that is Sayyid dynasty. In Sayyid dynasty, no much thing has been done, so we will basically move to Lodi dynasty. Before which we have discussed, they belong to Turks and this belong to Afghans. So Behlol Lodi was the founder of Lodi dynasty. Then comes his son Sikandar Lodi, and then comes Sikandar Lodi. During his period, Bengal, Bihar, Rajasthan declared independent. Gujarat as well declared independent. Then in 1504, he constructed a new city to check on Rajput and fortified it, that is Sikandrabad, now known as Agra. Then come the Ibrahim Lodi, last ruler. During his period, his governor of Punjab was Daulat Khan Lodi, his son Mahmud Lodi, and uncle Alam Khan Lodi. In 1526, Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur, the ruler of Afghanistan, to attack in India. Basically, he wanted to rule in place of Ibrahim Lodi. That's why Daulat Khan invited Babur to fight with Ibrahim. The Battle of Panipat between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur, and Ibrahim Lodi died. Then Delhi Sultanate war over. Babur took the title of Padshah and he established Mughal. About Delhi Sultanate architecture, so they follow Indo-Islamic and Indo-Persian architect. Feature was like you see dome shaped, hollow dome shaped example, Kuwait al Islam Mosque near Qutub Minar by Qutubuddin Baghdad. In architect, you find Bagh style kind of gardens that was introduced by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Example like introduced by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. So examples like Firoz Shah Kotla and Lodi Garden. Then comes the arc shaped thing. So their gateways were arc shape of two types, pointed and curved. Example Alai Darwaja. They introduced Minar. Minar basically symbol of victory tower. Example Qutub Minar by Qutubuddin Baghdad. Alai Minar by Alauddin Khilji. He erected it to signify his pan-India victory. Then comes the double dome shaped. They are hollow from inside, but they are double shaped. Example Sikandar Lodhi top. So in Delhi Sultan, one thing was sure that no painting, no sculpture, and no dance, no music was being there because Islam prohibit painting, sculpture, dance, and music. That's why we have discussed only architect. Then it's about Mughal, early Mughals. Mughal were divided into two parts: early Mughal and later Mughal. Early Mughals was very powerful, and later Mughals were weak. So that's for today. Thank you.